a couple of young kids that made your roster, one that's making his NHL debut tonight. I just want to ask you about the energy that they bring to this group, especially some of the veteran guys that have been here for a while.
I think that it brings the veteran guys back to their first game. So a lot of times they remember the excitement, the emotion that they had, and I think now they can kind of live off like Matvey tonight, for example. So it's a big thing for everybody in our room, especially Matvey. But I do think the older guys, it brings them back quite a ways to when they first broke into the NHL.
And Matvey, he had a great camp. I guess can you just maybe a thought on his camp, and then what do you expect out of him this season?
Yeah, he was excellent in his camp, and right from the prospect games, I guess you would say the 2 games that we played against Edmonton, I thought he was very good, and then he carried it on. And the one thing that you noticed from him, the moment doesn't seem all that big for him. He's funny when you're around him a little bit more. It's just I'm supposed to be here type thing. That's his demeanor and that's his attitude, and he's got a strong belief in his ability to play the game. What I do like about him, he's thick. Like his lower half of his body is thick, and when it comes to protecting a puck for a 19-year-old guy, he's very strong on it, and that's quite a bit different for me than someone that's like a typical 19-year-old frame. He's not in that category at all, and the one thing that we've seen around Calgary, he's got a skill set that is pretty special, and I think he's going to grow to be a really good player for our team for a lot of years.
Right. Could you just explain your rationale behind Zane Parekh not being in the lineup tonight?
I think with Zane, there's a lot of steps along the way, and it's our job is to work him into being an everyday player, and that sometimes takes time. I think Zane's had a really good camp, and I think he's going to be, much like Matvey, a really good player for us. We want to make sure that whether it's tomorrow night or the next night, he's ready for his opening night game. So this gives him an opportunity to see environment in the building. It's going to be quite a bit different from what he saw last year with us and what he's seen in exhibition so far.
When you have a talented young defenseman, everyone saw what he did in his debut last year. Do you have to bring him along slow? Do you have to pick the spots, or how do you kind of develop this?
Well, I think a lot of that always falls on the player. Like our plan is to make sure we're going to put him in positions to succeed, but you also hope that the player, when he goes and plays the game, it's like he's never coming out again. So that's what you'd like to see from him, and then it's our job to make sure we work with him and continue to build his game and his confidence at this level.
Ryan, with this schedule, 3 and 4 to start, like what's important to make sure that you can manage it kind of successfully?
The 2 and 3 don't matter. There's only one that matters, and that's tonight's game, Pat. So it's a focus that we have to have on making sure we're at our best for 60 minutes tonight, and that's it. Yeah.
A lot of times when the outside world makes its prognostications and such, it's about how much change was there when they're considering growth.
Yeah.
I mean, is there something to be said for steady as she goes with the players that you have, counting on that internal growth and building belief through that?
Well, Ryan, we've talked a lot about it. Our growth is going to come from within. Whether you're an older player, someone like Naz Kadri, we expect him to be at the same level and a touch better than he was last year for us. And then when we have younger players that maybe didn't have the year we wanted them to last year, our expectation is that they're going to contribute more, be players that have more impact for us this year. And that's why we believe in our group. We have a lot of quality individuals in our room, and I think team is important to them right now too. So it's just a matter of going and playing and trying to prove people wrong again.
What goes into being successful tonight against this team?
Well, the start's always going to be important here. I think managing emotions in your first game of the year, and then we have to make sure that our discipline is good tonight for sure.